This video will be covering the similar yet surprisingly different rail transportation systems in Seoul and Tokyo. At first glance, the two cities' rail networks look very similar. They both use massive heavy metro trains, they both use extensive through running, that is, one train running through multiple lines, and they both primarily use overhead electrification rather than served rail electrification. While it is true that the two systems are strikingly similar, in part because Seoul was partially inspired by Tokyo, the two systems actually have a lot of differences when you look closer. First off, branding. In Seoul, the entire system of railways, only excluding intercity and high-speed railways, are nicely bundled and branded as 수도권 전철, commonly translated as Seoul Metropolitan Subways. There is a nice, neat map of the entire system, the system has a coherent wayfinding language, and they have a mostly consistent fare system. Meanwhile, in Tokyo, there is no such thing as Tokyo Metropolitan Subways. There are two subway systems, Tokyo Underground and Yokohama Subway, about a dozen private railways, and the JR suburban network. The second difference comes from the extent to which through running is utilized. Through running, to reiterate, refers to when a train runs on multiple connected rail lines, offering direct services with fewer transfers. For most people, both Seoul Metro and Tokyo Metro seem to have extensive through running services to other railways. However, when you look closer, most of Seoul Metro's through service lines are completely disconnected from other railway lines and were purpose-built to operate with the metro lines. The only exceptions to this are lines 1 and 4, both of which offer through service to railway lines that are a part of the mainline network. Meanwhile, Tokyo's railway systems offer much more extensive through running services, with up to 6 companies operating on the same track. Although that is a bit of an extreme example, through operation to other railway networks is seen on 10 out of 13 subway lines in Tokyo. These differences aren't just a peculiarity for rail fanatics and have much broader implications than one might think. The fractured nature of Tokyo's railway system led to a much later adoption of chip-based transit cars, and even to this day, there are some minor railways that don't support tapping on and off. Other improvements to the railways, like signaling and automation, are much harder to implement as well, since several companies need to agree to such an upgrade. Meanwhile, Seoul has had automatic train operation on lines 5 through 9 from the get-go, and has recently retrofitted line 2 to run on ATO as well. On the flip side, this model of extensive through operation provides a unique way to improve services, as seen on the Sotechi Shin-Yokohama line. Sotechi was the only major private railway in the Kanto area to not operate any trains into Tokyo itself. However, with the opening of the Shin-Yokohama line, they have since added through services to Tokyo and JR lines that go directly to Shinjuku, Shibuya, Meguro, and even beyond and into Tokyo Metro Fukutoshin line. In sum, these systems, although they share many similarities, have many differences, like cohesion and through operation. These are not just interesting factoids for nerds and have genuine impacts on the implementation and use of technology on the networks.